Alright, welcome back to X-Plane 11 and something really special today. We're parked here on the cargo apron at our Tambo in the very recently released Rotate MD-11F. So in the World Cargo Airlines, this brings back a lot of memories way back when I started flying. I did quite a bit of flying for World Cargo in the PMDG MD-11. And now finally we have an MD-11 for X-Plane. And this is going to be a kind of getting to know the aircraft first look. I mean, all I've really done is start it up and do a takeoff earlier this morning when I bought it, and that's about it. So we're really going to be getting to grips with how the aircraft works and learning it as we go. So this is by no means a tutorial or anything like that. This is just my very first kind of dive into the Rotate MD-11. So we're going to be taking it today down to Cape Town. And let's see what we got here. So we can do ground power. We can do stairs for the pilots. I can't request these for some reason. Interesting. Okay, let's do... Oh, maybe we have to set the load first. That could be why. Right, we'll open the cockpit door. We don't need anything else. Let's open cargo main, forward, center, and aft. And these lights. Or maybe we have to open the doors before we can load. Okay, it hasn't gone blue, so it's probably the load manager that we need to do. So let us... Well, actually, let's go and get power to the aircraft. And then we'll sort that out. So I'm going to try and go through the procedures as much as possible here. Okay, so logbook checked, circuit breakers checked, emergency equipment. All of those things are not really simulated, so we can just skip through that. Right, weather radar, verify off. It is. Parking brake. I think that's on. Okay. Right, spoilers. That should be up. Those should be idle. And flaps should be up as well. Gear handle should be down. Right, fuel dump and manifold drain switches. So dump and manifold, there we go, should be guarded. Cool. Emergency power selector should be off. Battery switch we can now turn on and guarded. And we'll accept the external power as well. Right. Engine APU fire test up here. That's an interesting warning sound.
Engine 1 fire.
That is tested. Okay, APU. I think we can fire the APU up now. And with that, we can also do lights. So nav should be on. Logo we can turn on. It is early morning here. And let's also do some panel lights. Mind you, it actually isn't... It's already pretty light, and it's only going to get lighter because it's morning. So we can leave those off. We might need these ones just to start off with. Right. Okay, annunciator light, verify trim air off is extinguished, which it is. We'll wait for the APU to be available and then we'll turn on the APU air. Okay, that's actually the next step. Okay, there we go. So let's get some air. Right, then I think what we'll do next before we carry on, now that we have power to the aircraft, let's actually get loading. Right, so let's open this guy up. Okay, so fuel today. Let's go to load manager. Block fuel 32711. We'll enter that, and our zero fuel weight is 186.6. So zero fuel weight 186.6, and we can apply that. Now that we've done that, yeah, okay, cool. We can do this now. I wonder what happens.
Okay, service trucks coming.
Interesting. Right, so they're going to go ahead and start loading cargo. That's pretty cool. Right, while that's happening, let's have a look at the next part. Cargo fire test. Right, I wonder if another tug is going to come with more containers. There comes the fuel, it looks like. Oh, okay, that's it loaded. So that's our cargo for today. Pretty cool. Right, so let's come up here and do cargo fire test. So that is tested. Then we need to come down here. That is checked. And we'll put in our company route. Right, our alternate today is... Wow, Windhoek. That's quite far away, but okay. Flight number is 1324. Cruise altitude 24,000 seems very low. We might end up changing that, but we'll see how it goes. Cost index of 20. And here we have minus 20 slash 280. Okay, we'll come and do some more on this just now. But for now, we need that so that we can... we can flip these guys over to nav, and while we're here we'll do the voice recorder test, see that that goes up to the green, which it does. Okay, cargo temperature we'll do low just because. Okay, verify engine ignition off, checked. Hydraulic control panel, verify hydraulic system is in auto, which it is. System 1, 2 and 3 pressure lights illuminate, and push the test and observe hydraulic pressure test. Perfect. Okay, electrical control panel, which is this guy. Smoke selected to normal. Drive 1, 2, 3 and cabin bus switches are guarded. 1, 2, 3 cabin bus. Emergency power armed. Cool. Air control panel. Mask switch is guarded and everything else looks good. Fuel control panel. Should be in auto, which we are. That's checked. An emergency light switch. Oh, next panel, emergency light switch armed. Check. Okay, overhead panel and instrument panel lights are set as required. No smoking signs, and seatbelts will set both to auto because this is a cargo flight. Exterior lights, nav on, logo on. That's all we need for now. Evacuation control panel. Set evacuation switch to arm. I don't think we have this in the cargo version, so I'm gonna leave that for now. Okay, terrain override, because I think it's supposed to be here, or actually it might, I think it's supposed to be up there, but I don't see that anyway, so I think that's not in the cargo aircraft, which would make sense. Right. Override switch is not in the override position. Cool. There's a couple other things we're supposed to do with testing the GPWS, but I'm not sure where to find that. So that's something I'm going to have to look up, so we'll leave that for now. Okay, AFSCP panel, verify flat, limit and elevator field selectors are in auto. They both are. Oh, I just found the GPWS test switch.
Glide slope. Pull up. Terrain. Pull up.
Oh.
Sync rate.
When it says override, it's actually talking about this override. Not. I wondered, because in the kind of thing that I'm reading, it just says OVRD, not terrain OVRD. So that makes a lot more sense. All right, figure that one out. Okay, cabin pressure, verify auto. Pressure controller is in auto. Oh, right. Okay, yes. Anti-ice is not required. Ensure all anti-ice and defog lights are extinguished, so we need to turn that on. Press the fuel used reset button. Right, we can come down to the glare shields. And we are correct with QNH. Let's actually dial that in. Might as well. 1021. Set. Set minimums control panel to red alts. Select heading readout to magnetic, which it is. Select traffic and data as required. And we don't really need... Mind you, we can have that on. That kind of works. Don't really need these guys. Okay. Verify all selections appear on the ND. Yes. On the flight control panel, confirm that this reads 250. That's checked. Heading track window reads heading. Checked. And displays the actual aircraft heading. Well, we don't know that because the IRS is still in a line. So we'll come back and check that just now. Cross-check aircraft heading with compass we'll have to do once it's aligned as well. Right, oxygen system and masks. Now I believe move and hold oxygen quantity and line pressure to line pressure, which is this guy down here. Oh. Then we press this guy to test. That's tested. Right, ensure the first officer, this knob over here, set to 2 and ours is set to 1. Static air selector, I don't know where this is. I feel like I just changed something here. I mean, it all looks fine. I don't know where the static air selector is. Oh wait, is this it here? Yeah, that's it. Okay. Oops, I can barely see. Static air selector set to normal, and it is. Cool, we're learning things as we go. Okay, display units, yeah, all powered up and good. Clock, 438. Gear warning system and systems config synoptic. Observe 4 green lights. Cool. Norm up is extinguished. Select config synoptic. Verify 4 green gear. And verify configuration display is complete. Pull gear handle out of down detent but not all the way up. Don't know if we can do that. Ah, there we go. Observe gear lights indicate red on both instrument and synoptic. Cool, that is checked. Release and they should return to green. Perfect. Standby altimeter. On 021. No flags. Well, there is, but that's IAS. That's fine. Why does this look like it's caged? Because it was. Okay, takeoff warning system. This is something else I'm not sure about. Verify overboost stop on the throttle quadrant is set. See, I don't actually know. Is that this thing at the top here? Okay, that's something I'm gonna have to look up. I don't know. That must be like either toga or disengage. Okay, I'm not sure about the overboost. Right, move throttle 1 forward. We should get a horn.
Stabilizer.
Stabilizer? That's not the horn I was expecting.
Stabilizer.
Okay, but obviously it's because our trim is not set correctly. Okay, throttle's idle. Right, let's go over to engine. Oil quantity. That's all good. Hydraulic. I think we need to go here. Okay, those look fine. Greater than 4.75 in 1 and 2, check. Greater than 6 in 3, check. Okay, electrics. No faults, all green. Good to go. Air. Verify APU is the source. Checked. Fuel. Verify fuel level. 32.6. Let's double check that. 32.7. Oh, but obviously we've been running the APU, so that makes sense. Right, then config. Oh, that's why I didn't actually align the IRS. Just realized. Okay. We missed something, but it's fine. Moving on to config. We want to verify no tire pressure or temperature information missing. Checked. And MISC. Okay, that's obviously to do with doors, etc. Which reminds me, we can probably start closing those kind of things up shortly. Status. Review all items. So it's simply doors, and the digital flight data recorder will turn on with once engines are running and parking brake released. Okay, let's see if this test actually does something. It just says on. Radar switch set to test. Verify weather radar. Switch on glare shield set to weather and not terrain. Assuming that's weather and that's terrain. Oh, there we go. So that must be terrain then. Okay, perfect. So that's tested. But hang on. If we do test, we should have to do this. Okay. Right, TCAS, hold the TCAS knob in test. Hold the TCAS knob in the test position. Okay, so that's weather radar. So oh, there's the test.
TCAS test.
Fail.
Right, that's probably because our IRS is not yet aligned. Okay, so we'll have to test that again after we finish aligning the IRS, and this is all because I forgot to actually push the align button. Right, rudder trim and aileron trim set to 0. 0, 0. And ADG release handle, which must be this, is full down and safetied. Cool. Right, let's come in here and finish this setup. I think we'll do next. No, we've got a couple other things. Okay. Oh, this is all the same stuff, but for the captain. So we've pretty much gone through all of that. Well, sorry. It repeats some of those checks like oxygen and stuff for captain and first officer. That's fine. Right, so now we can come down here and fill this out. So we've done that. Taxi today, if we look at our flight plan. Where is it? Taxi 0.5. Right, refuel quantity, we are 32.7, and this should be 0. Do we actually type in 0? Oh, there we go. Right, let's come back here, and today we are departing. There are 3 left, and we're going to Cape Town, so it's Magul 3 Alpha. We can insert that. And Cape Town, what runway are we expecting in Cape Town? Let's check. 01. And obviously that is Addons 1 Alpha. Cool, that manual waypoint there is because we have vectors. So that's all good. Right, so next, yes, we've done flight plan, we've done runway, SID and star. Progress page verified, distance to go is 687. Let's check that with our flight plan. $726. Slightly different. But okay, let's move on. Okay, nav radio. Insert identify for longest runway at departure airport. Okay, fuel init page. Insert refill quantity and verify no ballast fuel. Check dump to CG and fuel type. Right. Okay, flap selector. We're gonna do 15 for takeoff. That's flaps 15. And that means we can come in here. We'll flex to, let's say, 55. Well, actually, we don't even need to go that high. I wonder why this always says packs off. If I make this even lower, will it eventually say packs on? I can't change that. Interesting. Okay, flaps 15. Now this I haven't been able to do. So wind for our departure today, 310 at 14. See, it doesn't let me put that in. It also doesn't let me put this in. So does it want 3.1 and 14? That also doesn't work. So I'm not sure what to put in there. Outside air temperature currently is 20. And then we'll put that in. And that'll give us our V speeds. V climb 250, that's perfect because that's already set. Okay, so that's done. Takeoff approach page is done. Fuel quantity. That's done. Right. Flight control panel. 250 is set. We can actually dial this all the way up to 240, which is our initial cruise. Right, then we want to check 303. And that is magnetic. Where is the standby compass? It's normally like over here somewhere. Ah, there we go. That does not look the same. Oh, come back. Right. But that is south that way. This looks right. This is not. That is definitely wrong. Okay, we'll ignore that. Right, IRS verified says taxi over here, which it does. And then this needs to be set to takeoff. APU is running. Right, let's clean up everything outside. I don't know what this little door is here, but for some reason it seems to just stay open. I mean, these all say closed. That little thing is still open there. Right, let's go double check. We are on the APU. So let's ditch the ground power. And then we can dismiss that and dismiss the chocks as well. So yeah, if anyone knows what this little door here is and if it should stay open, let me know. I don't think it's anything to do with the APU because it's way too far forward. There's the APU exhaust there. I'm not sure. Okay, doors, everything is closed. If pushback is to be initiated before engine start, push the auxiliary hydraulic pump 1. Verify the on light is illuminated. Okay, parking brake is set,
Hey,
but
Captain,
we need
let me know
to
where you want
set
this thing.
our pushback. That's perfect.
Great news, Captain. Your tow's coming.
Right, turn on the beacon light. Engine ignition switched. We'll take A. Fuel system manual light. Verify extinguished. Check. Air system manual light. Verify extinguished. Check. Okay, we're ready to start engines. So we'll just wait for pushback to be ready.
All right. Looks like the doors and hatches are closed and we're ready to connect. Welcome aboard, Captain. Tow's connected, bypass pins inserted. Go and kill the parking brake when you're ready to go.
Right. Let's release the parking brake.
Here comes the pushback. Light them up.
Okay, then that's all set. Let's start engine 3. So we flip that on and then we look for 15% N2. And then we can introduce the fuel. Right, there we go. Fuel on. And let the engine fire up. I'm not sure what's going on with the pushback. But anyway. Right, now I believe that that's extinguished. We can actually start the next one. So same thing again. Actually, I probably should have started this one first. I mean, 3, 1, and then 2. Yeah, so I should have done 3, then 1, then 2. Just remember that next time. There's 15. Right, there we go. Let's start engine 1. And just checking here that these are all within limits, which everything looks fine. That pressure will come up slowly. That's in the green. Those are within limits. Right, there's 15. Right, we can now set our flaps for takeoff as well to flaps 15. Now the stabilizer trim here says minus. I don't know if that's correct because we can't really go into the minus. So we're just going to set it to 5.1, which is in the green area. So that makes a lot more sense. Right, anti-ice not required. We can now shut down the APU. So we'll turn off APU air and we click on that guy and that should turn off the APU. Okay, flaps. Let's go here to config.
Just about done here. Go ahead and set your parking brake. And we're disconnecting the tow.
Okay, flaps are
just a
set
moment.
to 15. Stabilizer is set. We can arm the spoilers. And we also need to do a flap control check. Right, so we'll do full left, verify the green, full right, and we have green, full up, full down, and roto. Okay, flight control check complete. Stabilizer trim is set, takeoff data is set. And we're ready for taxi as soon as the tug is gone.
And we're disconnected. Signal and pin on the right. Take it easy and have a safe flight.
Cool, there he goes. So let's do taxi and turn off lights. Clear left. And he's clear right. Let's give it a bit of thrust. Release the parking brake. Oh, no, that's not released. That's released. There we go. Much easier to set off if the brake is off. Who would have thought? Right, let me check that this little box is green. That means we've got everything set for takeoff, which is good. And next thing to do is set up the lights when we enter the runway. I wonder if I'm supposed to turn this off Or do we just leave that on? I don't see anything about turning it off. It would make sense to leave it on. Steering in this is interesting. The tiller seems to do like absolutely nothing, and then all of a sudden it kicks in. I have to get used to that. Okay, let's go and turn on the weather radar. And we can turn on the high intensity lights and landing lights. And we should probably slow down a bit for this turn. See, I don't know why this says not allowed. It should set it to packs on takeoff. That should change it from off to on. Anyway, are we actually doing a packs off takeoff? Doesn't look like it. Okay, power to about 70%. Push the auto flight button, and we want nav and profile, and then we'll advance. We did get a bunch of warnings there for a second, but it's disappeared now, so we should be good. There's V1 and rotate. Okay, positive rate, gear up. Okay, let's go flaps 1. Right, we'll take the autopilot. I'm not sure why it wants us so slow here. There we go. Okay, let's also come up here and we can turn off these guys. We also don't need the logo light anymore. Okay, let's retract the slats. We did miss this. Okay, we're about 10,000 feet already, so landing lights can come off. Alright, and then we go powering our way through 11,000 feet now. Let's go and set standard here.
Stabilizer up.
Okay, so I think those warnings we got with the engines, I pushed the throttle forward too far. So we should have it around 70%. And then when we push auto flight, it should advance the throttles to takeoff thrust on its own. And I think I might have pushed it forward after that, which caused the kind of over revving. I don't know if that's the right word, but we exceeded the limitations of the engines momentarily. Okay, 24,000 feet is just crazy low here. We could actually go up to like 38. Let's see how that goes. So if I do that here, let's see. It has adjusted all of these. Perfect. Optimum flight level 3.5, maximum 3.8. So we should be able to get up to 38,000. They've got these kind of like ghost throttles, which is really interesting. So that's where my hardware throttle is sitting. And that's where the auto throttle has brought the throttles to. Which is kind of cool. I've never seen it done that way before. Stunning looking aircraft. Powering our way out of Johannesburg. There's Johannesburg CBD. let's actually turn this off. We don't need that. And now it's just a case of climbing up and cruising along to Cape Town. So I will join you guys again when it's time to prep for descent. Alright, so let's start prepping for our descent here. So first off, let's auto brake. We can do minimum, should be good. Let's just double check here. So I'm not sure what's going on with the top of descent. Like, it's calculating it way too far. We should be starting on top of descent shortly anyway. Let's also just go and get some weather. Looks like we're going to be going through a bit of clouds. Yeah, cloudy, 17 degrees, 310 at 11 knots, bit of wind. And then we have scattered at 3,000 feet, broken at 4,000. With the possibility of some rain. Right, so that is set. Now I think... I think we're going to have to descend a bit earlier than what the top of descent is saying. I think we probably should have already started, to be honest. Okay, so I believe if we do down click, that's like a kind of open descent, kind of like an Airbus. So let's do that. Right, let's go through our procedures and just have a look. So basically it's just lights at 10,000 feet and then extending flaps and slats as we slow down. Yeah, we're going to be way high because normally at this point coming over the mountains here, I think we're already about 15,000 feet. And, you know, we more than double that at the moment. So let's see. We'll test out the hold. Let's see what happens here. It's not actually the best angle, is it? Or the best heading, I mean. Okay, so there's not altitude here. See, this VNAV calculation keeps freaking out completely. Right, so we'll stay in the hold here till about probably 12, 13,000 feet. Okay, well, it seems to have joined that hold pretty nicely. It looks like we might have to just do like an orbit here more than an actual hold. Because by the time we come back around to Addons, we might actually, you know, be at a reasonable altitude to just carry on. How do I exit the hold? I wonder if we just do a direct to, like that maybe? Okay, the one thing I didn't check for Cape Town is QNH 1014. So I mean, it's definitely, it's not flying what it's drawing there. But hey, I mean, it's doing the pattern. Maybe let's bring some speed brakes in. Auto brake off. Maybe because the speed brakes are on, I guess. I think, do we just do this? There we go. So now we should continue from Addons. Oh, that's quite a rough turn there. Why is it turning that way now? Also, I thought we'd start slowing down by now. Are you turning this way again? No. Okay, let's just go direct to this guy then. Hasn't cleared any of that hold symbology. Okay, auto brake off is cleared now that I've retracted the speed brakes. Now we're kind of way off course and very fast. How do I... Yeah, there we go. There's 10,000 feet. We're gonna just bust through the speed restriction like crazy. But we're supposed to be going direct to this guy. That's what I wanted. Okay, there. 300 knots at 10,000 feet. That's not great. Okay, what I did want to check. Okay, we can also start standing slats. Let's just get, so we're doing runway 1 ILS. So frequency is 110.3 with a course of 009.
Stabilizer motion.
Okay, flaps 15. Right, so that has been set automatically, which is perfect. Okay, and I'm just gonna set this manually so we don't descend crazy fast here. So once we get to the next waypoint, so not CTV 30, at the next one we'll just do a bit of our own vector here. So I did have a look. This is the outflow valve. So it's to do with the cabin pressure. Oh. Doesn't seem to be any issues there that I can tell. We didn't set a landing altitude, but nothing in the documentation that I went through said that we had to do that. Also, I really like this indication. It tells you what the next flap detent is, and it goes green when you can set it, which is really cool. I mean, I'd say that's even better than most of the newer kind of methods, I suppose. Alright, let's see, does the terrain radar actually work? That should switch to terrain. Do we have to... Doesn't appear to be doing anything.
Altitude.
Okay, I'm not sure that that's actually working. So I misjudged how quickly we can descend in this aircraft. So we're already going to level off here at 3,000 feet. Normally I think we come past here kind of 5,000 or 6,000 feet. I don't know what that noise is either. But it did start when we put the flaps down. Oh, it's just the auto throttle. Interesting. Right, so once we reach the next waypoint here, we're gonna go into heading mode. So that we can give ourselves a bit of space to line up with the ILS. That was interesting. I don't want to do that weird turn. We'll extend out a bit and then come back in. The intercept altitude for the ILS here is actually 2,000. So we can descend another 1,000 feet just now, probably once we're out over the ocean. So just looking at the chart, this is actually 189. have read that this is a fairly difficult aircraft to land,
2500.
just because of the handling characteristics, so we'll see how we get on with that. Hopefully we can do a decent job on it. No rain at this point. We did say, the weather report did say we could encounter some rain, but nothing at the moment. Okay, so the Metos just updated and it says recent rain. Okay, so not raining at the moment, but it has been. Right, we're coming up to that waypoint now. I don't know, do I pull or push this? Right, well, the other one was obviously the right answer. There we go. Okay, so we'll extend out over the ocean here, and then make a nice right-hand loop to intercept the ILS. We do have the right frequency and course selected, so we should see that come alive just now. A little bit hazy out towards the mountains. What is the auto throttle doing? Interestingly enough, this area is actually restricted. Let me check. Because I think the altitude might be 3,000 feet. We shouldn't really be this low at this point anyway. And there probably shouldn't be an aircraft carrier there either. Let me go and see. doesn't actually say altitude. I'll have to look on one of the proper maps. I was hoping SkyVector would have it, but it's not on there. I wonder how the US Navy would feel about us just flying directly over the aircraft carrier at 3,000 feet. I'd say that you probably can't do this. Chopper following you around. Yeah. There's also not an oil rig out there as far as I know. Unless it's cropped up in the last year. Probably been about 2 or 3 years since I last flew to Cape Town. Right, let's go and do this. Direct to that guy. Okay, let's bring our speed down to 200 so we can take the next set of flaps as well. And at this point we can probably go ahead and arm the approach as well. Wonder, that feels like it might be a flap stage where we need the gear down. Okay, it's not complaining, so like we're good for now. We do appear to be coming in at a bit of a strange angle here. What's more concerning is that we're not picking up the ILS at all. Oh, there we go. Cool, we're 1 dot above, so let's go gear down. Wow, and we're going to intercept this very close. Gear down. Okay, VREF 157. Yeah, and we're way... Oh, I think we've just grabbed the glide slope there. Just about to say we're far above the glide slope. Should have intercepted way further out to sea, pretty much. Okay, but we've got it now. Let's go flaps full. Yeah, I feel like I haven't been through the procedures here.
Stabilizer motion.
Okay, flaps are extended. We're on the
1,000.
ILS more or less.
1,000.
1,000 feet. I don't know how to disconnect the auto throttle, to be honest. I feel like I have manual control now, but I don't know if that does the auto throttle as well, to be honest. It seems like it hasn't, because it does appear to be making throttle adjustments itself.
500. 500.
Right, well, here we go, I guess.
Stabilizer motion. 400.
Yeah, no, the autopilot still has control.
Approaching minimum.
So I will have to do
200. Autopilot.
oh, it's gonna keep doing that, isn't it?
100. Autopilot. 50.
50. Auto throttle did bring back the
30.
power, which is good.
20.
And 10.
10.
Touchdown.
10.
Not too bad.
Autopilot. Autopilot.
Is the reverse working? I feel like it isn't. No, it's not.
Autopilot.
That's a problem.
Autopilot. Autopilot.
Okay, stop.
Autopilot. 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 Autopilot.
How do I stop this warning?
Autopilot. 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 Autopilot.
Can't stop it.
Autopilot. Autopilot.
There we go. So what I actually need to do is bind that yellow button on the yoke. I need to find that in the settings and bind that, because what I realized I ended up doing was I bound this button to my joystick. So instead of disconnecting it, just pushed that again, which didn't do anything. Also, I need to figure out why the reverses didn't work, because that's a bit of a problem. But anyway, here we are in Cape Town. Turn off the landing lights. Okay, let's turn off the weather radar as well. And start up the APU. We can also turn off the strobes. Right, let's see. I had no reverse there, so I went full manual braking. Luckily, because it was a fairly short flight, we don't have loads of fuel on board. Well, not that the length of the flight really affects that, but also we're not super heavy today, so we could still stop. Okay, so the spoilers are retracted, flaps are retracted, weather radar off, auto brake is off. Stabilizer trim, we want to set to 3.
Stabilizer motion.
Like so.
Stabilizer motion.
Exterior lights are set. We have... Ooh. This should be on taxi, and then we have the runway turn-off lights on. Strobes are off, landing lights are off. Can turn off engine 2 if we need to. I don't know where the cargo aircraft park here. I've never actually flown a cargo aircraft into Cape Town. Definitely not these. Let's go down further to the end there and see what we can find. Okay, I mean, I am at idle and we're picking up speed, so let's do that. We'll shut down engine 2. Okay, electrical power, APU is powering up. Anti-ice is already off. Engine 2 is shut down. So let's just do a test quickly. That does arm the reversers. Am I only controlling engine 2 now? Interesting.
Stabilizer.
Okay, so now it has gone into reverse, but only for the other 2 engines. Now I have no control over anything else. What does this do? Oh, there we go. That goes into reverse. That goes out of reverse. Reverse. And immediately comes out of reverse. Okay, this is going to take some figuring out. Okay, we can't go into reverse without the engines at idle. Into reverse, and they immediately come out of reverse. Into reverse, reverse again. No? Yeah, that's very weird. Something I'm going to have to play around with and figure out. Maybe we should just take one of these stands here. Oh wait, I do know where the cargo place is now. And it's all the way behind us. And it's all the way behind us. So let's just take Bravo 18 over here. Why not? Turn off these lights, come on. Definitely made for small aircraft. Probably not for us. Anyway, there's our distance. 2 meters, 1 meter, and stop. Brake set. Right. Let's double check. APU is running unavailable. We'll go over to the APU air and let's shut down the engines. Okay, so engines shut down. We can now turn these guys off and we can turn the beacon light off and that can go back. Right, what else does it say? Emergency power selector off. Parking brake is set. If you're leaving the aircraft, these guys can come off, which we are doing. Yeah, we're too big for this. Definitely. Right, let's shut down the APU. And we can turn the battery switch off. And then I reckon that is everything. Okay, so welcome to Cape Town, to the wrong gate for this type of aircraft. The cargo apron, I now remember, is way down there. I think there might only be like one parking. It's in that section over there. Anyway, so that was my very first full flight, first landing ever, first approach and landing actually, in the Rotate MD-11. I'm a little bit disappointed with some of the aspects of this aircraft, considering how expensive it is. I think they've got a bit to fix, although I'm fairly confident that Rotate will fix some of those issues. Things like the VNAV and stuff like that. But otherwise, still a fantastic aircraft. And I'm fairly sure they'll sort out those bugs fairly quickly. There have been a couple of patches already over the last couple of days. Yeah, it's just a pity that it still has some issues to sort out this at this point. But anyway, that's going to bring us to the end of the video. I'm definitely going to be doing some more flights in this aircraft and hopefully eventually some sort of tutorial. But I've definitely got some practice to do before we do that. Anyway, that's going to bring us to the end of the video. If you enjoyed, you know what to do down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.